Hello and welcome to my review of the exotic hand cannon, the Crimson. This is quite a unique exotic hand cannon because unlike any other hand cannon in the game, it shoots 3-round bursts. It has been in the game since the launch, so I'm a bit late with this. However, I'm going to go over the perks first, then the appearance and the lore of the weapon, my experience of it in PvE, and then my experience of it in Crucible, and then my opinion at the very end. So we'll get started with the perks. There are 5 perks as per usual with any exotic weapon in Destiny 2. There's only really 2 noteworthy perks though, and the other 3 I'll just summarise. So the first one is Banned Weapon, and this basically says that the weapon fires 3-round bursts. The Crimson does fire 3-round bursts, and it's a pretty quick 3-round burst. If you haven't used the Crimson, obviously you can see from the gameplay, it is quite noticeable. It's the main perk of the gun. The secondary perk, I guess, which is also a noteworthy one, is Cruel Remedy, and the description of this says that kills with this weapon heal the wielder and precision kills also refill the magazine. So this means that if you kill an enemy with the Crimson, it will start regenerating your health, and if you get a precision kill, it also refills the magazine. This means the regenning effect of the Crimson does override any other regenning like debuff in the game. So if you're doing faction rallies with Renown, the Crimson overrides the Renown debuff of having a longer regen. If you're doing any activity where your health regen is lower or something, the Crimson overrides that and just regens at the normal speed. So it's a pretty good gun in that regard, and precision kills, also refilling the magazine. That perk doesn't take ammo from your reserves, it actually gives you ammo and puts it into your magazine, so it's actually really good in that regard. So I think it's actually a really good weapon, and you rarely run out of ammo with it because it really isn't difficult to get precision kills with it. The remaining 3 perks are Small Bore, which says Dual Strength Barrel, which increases range and increases stability, Accurized Range, which means that the weapon can fire longer ranges with increased range, and Heavy Grip, which says this grip is weighted for recoil control, so you're getting increased stability and decreased handling speed. So overall you're getting increased recoil control, increased range, and decreased ADS speed. I believe the Masterworks catalyst for this weapon drops by just killing enemies normally, like killing high value targets or something like that, and once you get the catalyst dropped, you have to get precision kills in order to unlock the range improvement, which I believe just gives the gun better range. But obviously, as with every exotic catalyst in the game, just equipping the catalyst without doing the challenge will drop orbs on double kills, so it's pretty good in that regard. For appearance and lore, I'm not going to go over the lore of the weapon, I'm just going to put it on screen. But the appearance of the gun, initially just the base version of the gun looks all bloody with a knife in the end, and it's kind of silvery but it's got blood all over it and stuff, which does look pretty cool. However, the ornament called Silver Bullet, which is the one I'm using in the gameplay, makes it all shiny and removes the blood essentially from the gun and makes it all shiny and silvery. So it actually, I think it looks a lot better with the Silver Bullet ornament, but if you do like the more sort of gruesome look to the gun, you can use the default ornament or the default look of the gun, and I'm not sure if there are any more ornaments, but there might be. You can probably look around for them, but I only have the Silver Bullet. From what I gather from the lore tab, it basically means that the gun is banned from Crucible or something like that. I think the lore tab talks about Zavala or Shaq saying he's not going to ban it or something like that, but it's really like an overpowered weapon or something. I don't know. In Crucible isn't like amazing, but it is definitely a good gun, so yeah, but I'll keep that on screen for a few seconds, but I shall move on to PvE. Usually for this section I go over the different public events that I've done with the gun and sort of say how it performs in each one. However, I usually do that for power weapons like the Warcliffe Coil and for the Sleeper Simulants. Obviously for the Crimson it doesn't really do anything unique to any of the public events, so I'm just going to go over sort of different aspects of PvE that it actually performs well in. So the first aspect is faction rallies. Renown obviously gives you a debuff, which makes it so as your health regen's a lot slower than usual, and it also, I think you take more damage from enemies as well whenever you have Renown, depending on obviously how much Renown you have. The Crimson overrides this effect obviously with its health regen perk, and makes it so as if you kill an enemy and you have really low health or something, it will start regenerating your health at normal speed. So it isn't actually affected by Renown, it just completely overrides the Renown effect. I did see the Crimson being used a lot during faction rallies, so if you're doing a lost sector which isn't the one on Titan that everyone goes to with the Ogre in it, or the one under the church in the EDZ where Devrim is, then you probably should use Crimson because it does actually regen your health and it's really good. So if you're doing a lost sector which actually requires you to kill the enemies and you can't just skip by all of them, then the Crimson is your best friend here because it regens your health and completely skips by the Renown effect. I also found that the Crimson was good for the glass modifier in heroic strikes because it makes it so as you regen your health obviously a lot faster. I believe glass does make it so as you regen health twice as fast but you have half of your health. So your health does regen pretty quick with glass, but this makes it so as you pretty much instantly refill your health every time you kill an enemy. So glass, you're not really affected by glass unless you take like insane amounts of damage, or you get one shot by a sniper. So if you're just against normal enemies, then you probably won't have a problem with them if you're using the Crimson, because it regens your health that fast. Like I said, for public events there's not really anything noteworthy that the Crimson does. The gun basically is good for killing low tier to medium tier enemies. It doesn't really do anything special to bosses or any of the heroic aspects of the public events, so you know, it doesn't destroy the Taken Blight very quickly in the Taken Blight public event, it doesn't destroy the vents on the injection rig very quickly, it doesn't destroy the ship on the mining expedition very quickly, so obviously it's just good for killing enemies. It isn't really good for dynamic aspects of public events or anything, but it is definitely a good weapon, and I would say it's probably more suited to faction rallies and the glass modifier and strikes than it is to anything else. My experience of the gun in Crucible is actually pretty good, and it's pretty positive, because I was using it in Mayhem because I don't really enjoy playing quick play if Iron Banner isn't in the game, so I was just playing Mayhem, and when I wasn't using my super, it was actually pretty easy to get kills with it. I was actually, after like a couple minutes in a match, I was actually able to get pretty decent kills with it pretty consistently, so even whenever people are using those supers, it seems to be pretty easy to actually kill them with the Crimson. So I don't think the Crimson is as good as like the Graviton Lance, but I do definitely think it's up there with one of the better weapons in the Crucible, and it's a really fun weapon overall to use, and I think it's really good. Obviously I think it is maybe suited more towards PvE because it does have the regenning effect, which isn't as useful in Crucible, but I'm sure if you're really accurate in Crucible, you can probably just go in like a kill chain if you're actually really good at it. So obviously I'm not very good at Crucible, but if you are one of the players who maybe only plays Crucible or are really good at it, then you can probably get some really good feeds with the Crimson, because the auto regenning of your health with the auto refilling of mag could make it so you can get pretty good clips. Finally, I just want to say that the weapon is pretty good. I do really enjoy using the gun, and it's a pretty fun gun to use. It's nice to switch it up every now and then from using the Sunshot or, you know, the Sleeper or the Worker Quill or something, so it is really fun. It is a really fun gun to use. I think that obviously there are better guns in the game to use, but the Crimson is a very fun gun to use, and using it against normal enemies in faction rallies obviously helps a lot. Using it with the glass modifier in, I think Nightfalls might have glass, I'm not sure, but heroic strikes definitely do, and it helps a lot with that modifier as well. So if you're looking for a weapon to maybe help you with faction rallies or the glass modifier and strikes, then the Crimson's probably your best friend here, and I would say that's probably about it. So overall the weapon is very good. I do enjoy the weapon, and there are very nice ornaments, and there are very nice ornaments with the gun, and it isn't too difficult to get the gun. So that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider leaving a like, maybe even subscribing, and I'll see you next one. Bye.